having been titled without any person inside. My submission.
Thank you. Follow-up questions? Next question, Honorable Kalobo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chair. May I draw the committee to page 2? On specific audit observations. Number A, budget, income and expenditure. Chair, here the council experienced the overcollection of revenue, where the town clerk submitted that some of the funds were collected as levies from markets. Obviously, among them could be Luangwa Market, Marembeka Market, Morning Site, Chamboli Market, Usakile Market, Nakadori, among others. So the first question is, to continue experiencing this success, what measures have you put in place as a local authority? Number 2, since markets are part of the success, what plans are there to upgrade these markets that are adding to this success? Another question, let me draw on page 13. On failure to fill vacant position, appendix 16. Failure to fill vacant position, town clerk, is this not going to affect your operation as a council, or has it already affected, and if it has, to what extent? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Yes, witness, you may respond.
Yes, Chair. Maybe let me begin from the last question, and then the other one I would throw it to the Director of Finance just to comment. As it was indicated, Chair, the establishment is 1,500, and on the establishment, the field position is accounting for only 1,006. And if you notice from our remedial measures, we are saying that we're only looking at the most critical positions, because we're imagining filling all the positions with limited resources. You may wish to note, Chair, that for us at Kiri City Council, we pay our salaries at gross. We don't pay at net, and we don't want to slacken in our endeavors to ensure that salaries are paid timely. So we think that we can't have all the 1,500, because we're only looking at the most critical positions that will enable us to actually operate efficiently. I beg to submit, Chair. Thank you.
Any other question?
Thank you, Chair. Favorable collections of revenue. Chair, just on a lighter note, this is one of, it's a query, but in a favorable way, in a positive way. How do we intend to sustain it? I think that is the question. Chair, we have an already existing task force. I think last time we did take your advice seriously. I think last time we appeared to say let's have task force, let's enforce the collection of revenue, which we went and implemented. So, Chair, we have an existing task force, and we continue to enhance it. As we speak now, it's already in the field for 2025. So that is one major measure that we are taking. The other one is issues of sensitization. We have done a lot of sensitization, especially in the markets, through our, we have a Department of Housing and Social Services, our market masters, who are on a weekly basis sensitizing our marketeers and in the bus stations to ensure that they comply with the payment of council levies. And Chair, the last measure which we normally don't take pride in terms of enforcing is the issue of warrant of distress for those under rates, property rates, residentials, commercials, industrial, and like mining. For those that will not comply, the law still is on our side. We ensure that we execute the warrants of distress. But that will be the last, those are last measures that we got. Thank you, Chair.
There was a question that since the markets are part of the success story, any plans to upgrade them?
Yes, Chair, with permission of my principal, if I can take that one. Yes, our 2025 budget, Chair, we have recognized markets in terms of rehabilitating our ablution blocks and market shelters, that in most cases they are in deplorable state. So we have put quite an amount in the 2025 budget, and we hope that as and when resources allow, we'll execute and be able to appreciate the marketeers. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any more questions? Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I may take the committee to page 7 of your submission. Page 7 of your submission is the delayed completion of Chisokone Green Market Shelter, which is supposed to be funded under the local government equalization fund of 20% that is supposed to be used on the capital projects. On this particular project, the cause of the query was that the delay of completion of the project, and the explanation is that first of all, the delay was caused by the affected marketeers who were refusing to move and pave way for the construction of the market shelter at the time the project was about to commence. So the first question here is, why, did the council conduct sensitization to the marketeers? How would you just sit in the offices and sign a contract, then the contractor just moves on site to the market to make people move? Did you carry out any sensitization about the coming up of this very good project, and any evidence to that? The second question is, this delay, how did it affect contractual financial status in terms of project specifications that are in the contract between the contractor and the procurement entity? The third question is, the contract was supposed to expire in November 31st of November 2023, and then by December, that is a month later, by December 2023, IPCs worth 30% of the contract price. The contract price was 1,661,223. So the contractor had only achieved 30% of the physical progress based on the IPCs that you, assuming that the financial progress and the physical progress can match, though not normally, but they should be close. There is no indication as to whether client and the contractor, there was extension of the contract period, because the contract the project was handed over 1 year after the expiration of the contract. So, what about invocation of the contract specifications based on a delayed completion of the project? Maybe for now we can deal with those. I'll follow later.
Yes, witness, you can respond to those concerns.
Thank you, Chair. I would, after making a comment on the stakeholder engagement, allow the Director Engineering to comment, because under whose jurisdiction the project manager falls. I want to mention, Chair, that there was a wide consultation. We have a series of meetings, and the minutes are there for verification. They actually, we came with them. Well, they're not in the submission. But we do have the minutes, we do have the notification to that effect, where we try to engage our stakeholders. There were a lot of meetings that were held. The major resistance was the effect that the marketeers wanted to construct the shops themselves, as opposed to the council constructing them on their behalf. I think that was the major, bond of contention. So we had to go through a lot of processes in trying to persuade them to give way for that, the contractor to move on site. There was a point where the contractor actually wanted to back out, because, there was a lot of loss of time. And then secondly, it was not possible for the contractor to be on site, whereas we have marketeers trading within the vicinity of the construction site. So these are the issues that surrounded this complete. In fact, even how we moved on site, these are, series of, set of actions that are well documented, where they only moved after we engaged over 200 police officers to help us actually to ensure that these people move. What we didn't want as a council is to just demolish their structures. We wanted to voluntarily move out of sight to pave way for the contractor to continue with his works. Thank you.
Director, Engineering, additional information?
Thank you very much, Chair. The project at the Sokone Market, that's a green market shelter. Chair, this project covered what we can refer to as two areas. One, an open trading area where marketeers were selling tomatoes and vegetables on an open ground with no shelter, protecting them from direct heat. And there was also a section where we had makeshift structures, temporary structures placed for the other market traders to trade from. And so we managed to attend to about 50% of the section of the project. And it's the other section where there were makeshift structures where there was resistance. And that is the area referred to in this report. Say before the marketeers resisted, at the time the project was about to commence. This is the section where the makeshift structures. Just a clarification on that statement. Then we do have stakeholder engagement records, where the minutes and the public notices for the meetings and the resolutions that resulted from the engagements. Also during the first phase of the project and the second phase of the project. I speak to the aspect of phase, as the query asks about what the impact of the delay was, and if there was how did we proceed without any record reflecting here as to how we transitioned to the completion of the project. Chair, speaking to that, my submission is that the initial contract was terminated mutually with the contractor, owing to the fact that it had exceeded a reasonable time allowed for the project to be implemented. And that's how we proceeded to the procurement committee to allow for a second contract to be a second project to be implemented, and that's how the contractor was able to complete the remaining section of the project. Chair. I think I'll end there at this point, having spoken to the key.
Call up Dr. Mwanza. Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
TC, you've mentioned that you did a lot of consultation, and at the time that you took the contractor to take possession of the site, you even involved more than 200 police officers. My question is, what should come first? To commit yourself to execute the project through a contract, or to do exhaustive negotiations and come up with a solution that is suitable for both parties. After that solution, that is when you do engage a contractor to sign a contract to commit the funds. So the question is, what should come first, in your opinion? To first engage the marketeers, then later you sign a contract, or you sign a contract first, then later, that is when you engage the marketeers. The second question, follow-up question, is based on the information that the Director of Engineering has now offloaded. Why didn't you put this kind of evidence in this submission? You are now talking about two contracts. The first contract was terminated. We are not sure whether it is the same contractor who was engaged, who completed this project. Because what we see in your submission is just one contractor who did the works. So why didn't you submit that pertinent information for this appearance? And it is very difficult for us now to follow the financial status of the project. What is the total cost of the project? Because here it is only one contractor who is appearing, and this very contractor, more than 1 year, according to the procurement records, more than 1 year after the expiry of the contract, and there are no penalties of any kind, and there are no evidence of any financial statements whether the contractor was paid any money. Why hide this pertinent information in this submission?
Thank you. You may respond, witness.
Thank you so much, Chair. Let me begin from the premise that what motivated the council to move the marketeers from the old Sokone market was that they were trading in umbrellas. For those that have been to Sokone, you actually discover that the market was operating in a very, very undeplorable and very unsanitary condition for many years. So we had to put up a shelter. That meant that the marketeers were to be moved from the market into the one-way road, thereby actually choking traffic for many years. So now the marketeers have two facets of the coin. On one side, you have marketeers that were looking forward to occupy market shelter like any other marketeers in other sections of the market. Then unfortunately, you have other marketeers operating in this makeshift stands who are blocking the very good intentions that is meant for these marketeers to actually move. So it was very, very hard for us to actually agree, assuming they didn't want to go ahead. It was going to be very difficult because there was need. There was no doubt the need, because the marketeers themselves were saying all our colleagues are actually trading in a very, very conducive atmosphere. And we continue to squat in this arrangement. And so that's the reason why we had to do what we had to do. If you look at the minutes, actually, Chair, you will notice that we generated a lot of consensus.
Can we circulate the minutes?
Thank you so much.
Since we are referring to them for the second time.
Thank you so much.
Give Secretariat the minutes.
I just asked a very simple question. Before you execute a project, what takes precedence? First, is it to sign a contract before you can resolve the issue of occupancy? Or you because in this case, you could have had pressure from the would-be successful bidder. You sign a contract, then you go on site. We really appreciate this particular project. the economic benefits that it has brought to the people of Kitwe. Even Chisokoli market is one of the oldest and highly populated place. We appreciate, don't justify the need for that project, but from management, contract management point of view, do you sign a contract to commit before you secure land? And is this project funded under the local government equalization fund, the 20% component?
Your mic was off. You can respond.
Thank you so much. With our stakeholders, there's no form of contract. The form of contract that serves as a contract is actually basically the consultation process that we engage in. The minutes that we've secreted will speak to that. That initially there was actually a consultation process that generated consensus that was the best way to go. So even when we were going ahead to engage the contractor, the marketeers were actually forward-looking to have the shelter also built where they were trading from.
Are you satisfied, Honorable?
Last one. The TC just confirmed that this project is funded under local government equalization fund, the 20% component. Now I would like to take the committee to page 9. Page 9. No, page 19, sorry. Page 19 is detailing the local government equalization fund, the 20%. And we are being referred to Appendix 9. I just want to ask TC to show me on the ledger on Appendix 9 where payments towards this project, towards this project is shown on Appendix 9. Because Appendix 9 is detailing the local government equalization fund, the 20% part of it, and how it was utilized to support capital projects in Kitwe.
Yes, witness.
Thank you, Chair. I will call upon Director of Finance just to shed light.
Director of Finance.
Chair, maybe just a clarification or maybe a correction which we wish to make. This very project, it was funded using locally generated, I think, as a correction to make, because the 2023 equalization fund, those are the projects that were paid in it, as reflected in our response.
Town Clerk, you may wish to proceed and withdraw your submission. This was funded by Equalization Fund.
Thank you, Chair. We note the discrepancy. We will note it, Judge.
Kindly withdraw so that we expunge it from the record. Here we withdraw a wrong information.
Thank you, Chair. It stands withdrawn.
Thank you so much. Honorable Mwene.
Financial impact on the project after the project was completed 1 year after expiration of the contract. We are not going to look at that one which was terminated, contract that was terminated, but we're just looking at your submission now that this company completed the project and was handed over in December 2024, but that is 1 year after your submission of the contract details. So financial implication, why didn't you grant extensions, or why did you invoke liquidated damages for a period of 1 year? And the contract amount stands the same. The contract amount from the completion certificate that you have given us, in Appendix 2, the contract price is the same, and you did not even submit any financial records to show payment, because really we are concerned that a project that was supposed to take three months, it took 1 year, 6 months, and the contract amount is the same. So, and then you did not submit any payment vouchers to substantiate that the contract amount remained the same after 1 year and 6 months.
Yes, witness.
Thank you, Chair. I'll call upon Data Engineering.
Director Engineering.
Thank you very much, Chair. Speaking to the aspect of liquidated damages, the delay in the project was as a result of the client not facilitating the clear workspace for the contractor, and therefore that could not apply on the contractor. And so hence our mutual agreement to terminate the contract on the basis of expiry of the contract.
Did the project,
that is for the first contract.
did
Then
the project
second,
cost the same after you terminated the initial contract?
Yes, Chair, the contract, we had a second contract which had a modified scope that spoke to all the concerns that were brought on board by stakeholders, including marketeers and all the other stakeholders that came on board before implementing of the second contract. The amount for the second contract was at 3 million. The amount for the second contract was at 3 million. In case Secretariat to be shared with the records of all the IPCs and all the communication to the stakeholders for the appreciation of the committee, Chair.
You have the records of the IPCs?
Yes, Chair.
And
the contract copies and the IPCs that were generated.
kindly circulate them to Secretariat. Honorable Mwine.
Thank you so much, Chair. I'd like to take the committee to page 16, poor management of waste.
Before we go there, can we exhaust this particular question? Do you have any more questions, Honorable Dr. Mwanza?
Yes, Chair. I think what we are discussing here is according to the submission, because this is additional information which is giving now that I'm even hearing a figure of 3 million kwacha, which is not part of the submission here. I wish we need to get deeper into this, because the first project was terminated and the Director of Engineering is mentioning to acquit that first project with an amount of close to 3 million kwacha, which is a colossal amount, which is not even part of the submission here. And so what we should discuss, you can guide, Chair. Is it this what is submitted here, or he needs to come up with all those details of the first project leading to termination and the second project awarded to this contractor, and how the contract management, even the delay that is attributing to, how long did the contractor take before he could occupy site? And is there any correspondence that was speaking to the contractor to hold on while the client is negotiating with the marketeers? And was there any other letter also to, no correspondence of whatsoever? So we are discussing, I'm worried that we are discussing a project that is not on site. I know Tsokoni Market was constructed, and but the financials that the Director of Engineering is mentioning here are hidden in the submission. 3 million kwacha, where did it go?
My guidance is that please go ahead and ask questions arising from what they are submitting. And if they have extra records in answer and in support of their responses, we can admit the documents for scrutiny. Yeah. So if you have questions, perhaps please go ahead and ask extra questions.
Okay, my question is the delay by the client to occupy site took how long before the contractor was called back to start the works? And what was the legal contractual implication on the contract as a result of the client's delay to hand over the site? The third question is, second question, why is the contract amount the same at 1,661,000 after 1,661,133 kwacha after contractor occupied site for more than 1 year 6 months? And why did you hide presenting financial details in terms of IPCs? The money is what was the closed settlement, we cannot even ascertain from this. And it's not even part of this project is not even part of the local government equalization fund projects as detailed in Appendix 9. Why did you hide those financial status of the project?
Yes, witness, you may respond.
Yes, Chair. Once again, I'm throwing it to the project manager. Basically put the one who supervises the project manager for this project so that he can shed more light, and if where there be need, Director of Finance could also come in to chip in on the financial aspect of it.
Who will start first? Director Engineering.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'll start with the question why the contract amount is the same one reflecting in the report. The contract that was under query is the initial contract of 1.6 million, and that is the amount that is reflected in this report submitted to the committee. The contract did not see, the first contract did not see successful end, and it was terminated. The second contract only started in August 2024, and it was a 12 weeks contract, and the completion certificates that have been shared and the contract copies that have been shared speak to that detail, that completion was after the 3 months period, which was around November. Chair, the impact on the project, of course there was the delay in the completion of the project. The end users that were anticipating to use the facility could not start using the facility. We have Chisokone Road, which has been closed for some time. And the contractor could not continue with the initial rates. Every contract speaks to cost, quality, and time, and they costed their bills of quantities based on that. And with the passage of time, they did write to us formally. I think there is correspondence shared with the Secretariat, indicating that they could not proceed at the same old rates and the same old arrangement. And that is one of the bases on which we were able to to sit and come to a mutual agreement to terminate the initial contract. Chair, my submission for now.
Director Finance.
Yes, Chair, nothing much to add except that maybe just to mention that we are looking at 2 financial years. The initial contract was in 2023 and the second one is in 2024. So the auditor is yet to look at the performance of the second contract in 2024. So as a matter of focus for now, we are focusing on the query which is delayed completion of Sokone market, green market shelter, where our ultimate response is that the shelter is now complete. This is why we are mentioning that, Chair, that the shelter is now complete, focusing on the query that arose. But however, the auditor is yet to see or to audit the performance of the second contract for the 2024 contract, Chair.
The concern of the committee, we have been noting from various councils, the delay in implementing contracts is incurring more costs on the local authorities, therefore depriving other areas of development where you should have spent 1.6. Because of the delay, things go up, you end up spending 3 million kwacha. That is the concern of the committee. Most councils have been delaying to complete projects, thereby incurring extra costs, getting more money from taxpayers' money, which could have done other important services within the district. Honorable Dr. Mwanza, you have a follow-up question, or we move to the next question?
No, I have a follow-up question, Chair. This is very serious because what has been presented here,
yes,
is not speaking to the physical situations that happened on site. The Director of Engineering has a lot of information pertaining to this project, which they decided to not to be part of the submission. The only reference to this project is on Appendix 2. Appendix 2 shows a contractor wrote to the client to say, I've completed the project and I must to hand over the Sokone market. And the next is a completion certificate issued by the client to the contractor. In fact, the contractor wrote the letter of completion on 24th November 2024. And on the completion certificate, date of completion is 1st December. It means that a contractor already handed over the project in absence of the client. Okay, the question is, we want to know, is Albert investment the same contractor on the first project whose contract was terminated? What was the contract value of the, even though he didn't bring that as part of the submission, but to for the Director of Finance to say we concentrated on the query, this should have been answered exhaustively because we are talking about the same site. And even in the explanation of the Director of Engineering, he's referring to the project that was terminated. And the presentation here is not speaking to that project that was terminated. So we can have privileged information. Is Albmat Investment the same contractor who signed the first contract and it got terminated, and then had a chance again to get this contract at 1.6 million? What was the project value of the first contract? What was the source of funding for that first contract? Maybe from there it might lead us to more better understanding as to whether the money is the 3 million that he talked about is accounted for here in the presentation.
Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you so much. Director Engineering will continue.
Thank you. Director Engineering.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, the protocol of handling this, the project allows for the contractor to indicate when he feels he has completed the works, and that is where the contractor writes to the council indicating that he has completed the works. And then after which, from November, December, after the final inspection, noting of snags, correction of those snags, the council then is able to prepare that certificate of completion of works. So you see that there is November and December appearing on that response. Chair, I think that is for the first for the first query. Maybe I could be assisted with the second query, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. I'm reminded the contractor, is it the same contractor? The response is yes, it is the same contractor on the first contract and the same contractor on the second contract. Chair, the details are provided in the copies of the two contracts that have been circulated, Chair. Regarding the time frame, the costs and the scope. Chair, you will note the differences in the contract amount for the first contract and the second contract, and the difference is not simply about inflation. There is also a scope change aspect, where a project being a living thing, when the implementation, the opportunity to implement the second phase came about, several other aspects that were not in the first contract were taken on board. And so you note that the costs is different, and there is a significant difference between the first contract and the second contract. There were some scope changes that included all the concerns of ventilation, all the concerns of stability of the structure, and the area of coverage, because now we're able to incorporate all the areas that may have been left out during the initial contract. Chair, my submission. Thank you.
Honorable Kamondo.
It's not on this one, in a different.
You can,
That's one. We will not continue. But we need to come up. We need to conclude.
yes.
Director Engineering, according to your explanation, you are saying Albmat was the contractor. Now, the procurement entity council had to decide to terminate the contract of Albmat. To terminate a contract, definitely one of the parties breached the conditions of the contract. Now you terminate the contract of Albmat at the same site. You award him because your justification is saying, you know, there was a change of the scope of work to accommodate the the specific needs of the marketeers and so on. Please, I think, let us be sincere. if I terminate a contract, you have occupied this site, you are constructing, you're doing the your contractual obligations. I terminate a contract because you have breached the conditions, contract conditions. And now I have done a variation in the scope of work on the same site. Then I appoint you. What's the logic there? And you didn't explain, you didn't tell us what was the project value for the first contract and what was the reason to terminate the contract, to make him favorable for the second, to have a next opportunity in the second contract.
Yes, witness. May
Thank you,
respond.
Chair. Director Engineering is coming on.
Thank you very much, Chair. It is established so far that the client was the one that did not secure a working site for the contractor to work freely and be able to execute the works. It is established. It is established that because of that, no liquidated damages were charged on the contractor. And so a mutual agreement was arrived at to end this engagement because the contract has expired. It had a life beyond which we had gone beyond reasonable time that we could allow this contract to continue.
When did the contractor finish the works?
The contractor finished the works in November 2024.
Do you have the signed copy of this contract of 3 million kwacha?
Your indulgence, Chair, we're just trying to see if we carried the signed copy.
You have it? TC, can you confirm that this contract was executed by both parties?
Chair, that's the indication, Chair.
Let's go to appendix number 2. Certificate of substantial completion. Are you there? Appendix number 2, the last page. Certificate of substantial completion, construction of Sokone Green Market. Are you there, Town Clerk?
Yes, we are there.
What is the contract sum of the finished market shelter that is being handed over here, according to this certificate of substantial completion?
This particular one is reading 1.661133.
1.661.
This. Oh yeah, this is the issue.
Is this the contract that was terminated?
I think there should have been an error. I want just to go up on data finance just to clarify.
Director of Finance.
Yes, Chair. So the initial contract sum was the 1.6, which was terminated. The second contract sum is as indicated. There is about 3 million plus, the one that Principal Officer has confirmed. So the contract sum that we are looking at ultimately is 3 million plus, the one that has been submitted.
I'm looking at where I believe all of us have this document here. The contractor finished in November. You are issuing, is it you, Director Engineering, who is issuing the certificate of substantial completion? Is this your signature on this certificate?
Yes, it is my signature, Chair.
How do you reconcile the contract sum stated in this contract that you've circulated and this certificate that you have presented at Appendix 2?
Chair, the figure is not the correct figure, and I think we withdraw the figure so it should be reflected the 3 million project amount in the contract indicated.
Was this money paid to the contractor? Town Clerk, did we pay the contractor?
Yes, Chair, I must confirm he was fully paid.
Do we have the payment voucher?
Was made.
Bank statements for this contract?
Unfortunately, Chair, we didn't carry the payment vouchers. We didn't come with them. But the contract has been paid.
The information presented to the committee does not tell a full story. What can help us are the bank statement and the payment voucher, so that we are able to follow the story as it is. And when you are saying that what is presented has got a mistake, at least the bank statements will be able to show us, to say what they are saying is a mistake is indeed a mistake, and the right thing was done. Because we have a contract that was terminated, and here as evidence you have given us a certificate of substantial completion stating the figure of a contract that was terminated. I'll ask that you submit these documents after the meeting. Director of Finance, we will need the payment vouchers and the bank statement to show the payment of this project. Can we proceed to other queries?
Just in addition to what they should submit.
Yes,
just a full understanding of the Sokone Grove market. Shorter in terms of the contract, the first contract, that was that how much investment, the first contract, copy of the contract, which is describing also the scope of work, and then the IPCs and the correspondence that led to the termination of the first contract, and what was the final settlement, financial settlement of the first contract, then a contract copy of the second contract, stating also the construction period, all the correspondence that are related to the project at the Sokone market for the two particular contracts.
Auditor
just some
General,
additional
do you want to add
information?
Thank you, Chair. Mine is just a clarification that we need. The witness, I think, gave us two statements, and we need clarification. At first, the TC said the first contract was paid using equalization funds, and then the DF came in and made a correction that actually this project was funded by locally generated funds. So we just wanted the clarification on that one. Because if you look at what we are querying here, it's only equalization fund, which statement they withdrew. So we just want a clarification on that one, Chair. Thank you.
Town Clerk, have you gotten the point of clarification that is being
Chair, I
sought?
think the question is clear, and I would just want to ask the Director of Finance just to clarify.
Yes, Chair. As we will come through to submit the PVs and other information requested, maybe just to mention, Chair, that in the year under review, the project, quite all right, it was earmarked to be executed under equalization. However, when there were a lot of delays as a result of marketeers refusing to move, the project was not executed in 2023 in the year under review. And therefore, there was a variation in terms of what projects was done under equalization. So that particular project for Chisokode was not done under equalization in the year under review. Come 2024 in the second contract, that's when we financed it now under locally generated revenue. I thought of making those clarifications, Chair. However, we will submit the documents as requested.
Okay. Honorable Mwene.
Thank you so much, Chair. I think we can go to page 16, Chair. Now, before we go to page 16, Chair, just on the same certificate of substantial completion, this is what we talk about, Chair, that councils, before they come here, they just cook, create.
Page what?
Page 16, Chair. Yes, on the certificate of completion, Chair, just to go a little bit behind, this is what we talk about councils, Chair, to say before they come here, they just create documents to satisfy your committee that they have availed this document. Because, Chair, there is no way an engineer, the entire engineer, can sign on a document that is not bearing correct figures. See? So this simply tells that, Chair, these are just manufactured documents to try to satisfy your committee. You see? And this is not for Kitwe City Council alone. We have seen this with the various councils, and we are able to tell that this is not real. This is fake. This is not correct. This is not true. So, to all the councils, please, if you don't have the documents, just come as you are. If you lost the documents or you didn't prepare the documents, it is imperative to be faithful and truthful with the evidence you are coming to present to your committee, because it doesn't give a good picture of the entire council to just be seen not to be telling the truth on air like this. This goes to all the councils, Chair. Chair, I would like to now take you to page 16 on poor management of waste. Chair, the query here is that the council dump site was unfenced. And now they are telling your committee, the council is telling your committee to say, now they have made up a program for 2025, Chair, to do what? To fence the dump site. Now my question, Chair, is why did the Kitwe City Council not prioritize the fencing of the dump site in 2024? Because, or even in 2023 itself. Because, why am I asking like this, Chair? It's because, let me draw you behind to page 4, Chair, where Kitwe City Council generated favorable performance on revenue collection. You can see, Chair, that TC, you can see that you actually had a favorable generation of income on local taxes, about 1,778,575, licenses 249,834, levies 2,360,958, permits 1,071,577. Other receipts, 772,534. In total, you had an over collection of 2,582,869. Chair, this money, according to the budget on page appendix, on appendix 7. On appendix 7, according to the budget of this war offense, let's go to appendix 7. You discover that, Chair, the approximated budget or the unit cost is 1,276,000 kwacha, which would still have been constructed from the over collection of the revenues. Now, my question, Chair, to the TC is, why didn't you prioritize the construction of the war fence? And why, secondly, why only construct the war fence after the audit, actually in 2025, a year after, even when you know the health hazards as regards to the dumping sites? I submit, Chair.
Yes, Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. I know that Data Finance will come in just to shed more light, but suffice to mention that this dump site we are talking about is a huge piece of land. It's actually sitting on 20 hectares of land. So even when we had these intentions to fence off this dump site, it was to be done in a phased manner. And our thinking was that we would start initially with the frontage, which we would do in the cement blocks, but perhaps the rest will be done through the fencing or using a game wire. Because 20 hectares is a mammoth project. And that's the reason why I think it was such. So maybe the Data Finance should come in just to shed more light.
Thank you, Chair. I think we're just looking at the timing differences because the 2023 audit was conducted in due course of 2024. So by that time, the 2024 budget had already been approved. So we had we didn't have chance to undertake it within the 2024 budget. However, Chair, we had to incorporate it in the 2025 budget, and we'll surely execute it as and when I think funds allow. I submit, Chair.
The last one from Honorable Kamondo.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and allow me to introduce myself, since when the introduction was being done, I was not.
Please go ahead.
My name is Elliot Kamondo. I'm a Member of Parliament for Mfumbwe. Now, I have 2 points of clarifications, I think very short ones indeed. The first one actually is on page 8 of the submission. Through you, Chair, the query is on weakness in management of payroll and staff-related matters, irregular payment of allowances to retirees. And the total amount that was involved is 598,902. Now, I want to find out I'm not too clear about the reasons that have been given why these people were allowed to get these allowances when in the actual sense they were not supposed to. So if that one was an error, I wanted to find out. Again, before I go to that, we have a submission here that all these retirees have been cleared. Now the question is, have they been cleared without actually paying back what they obtained erroneously? Have they been paid with that? Have they gone with all that? Or was that money recovered? In the same vein, TC, we have a circular here for 5 February 2021, which we don't even have it here. I've been trying to see, or maybe could you just explain the rationale of paying education and transport allowance to retired employees? In short, what motivated you to pay them in that manner? Which regulation did you use to pay them in that manner? And also, why should it take the Auditor General to come to your offices in order to correct this error? Why should you wait for them? And also, I want to find out the evidence that you have adduced here. For example, if we go to Appendix 3, through you, Chair, we go to Appendix 3, there is a Mr. Suwamba Michael. Mr. Suwamba Michael, according to this ledger card showing that the balance of 443,137 was paid. And through you, Chair, when you look at these ledgers, there is nowhere where we can find some evidence indeed that these people, maybe even through a bank statement or a payment voucher to show that indeed all these people have been cleared. I've not seen that evidence actually in this document. If it is there, maybe the town clerk would be in good favor to show this committee, because we cannot admit these documents which are not concluding the matter. So we would want to have some documents that will show that indeed these retirees were paid, and also that the money was also deducted because they received it in a manner that they were not supposed to receive it. Or maybe I end there, or should I finish with the other questions?
You have another question?
Yes, on a different subject.
I wanted to manage time. We have 2 more councils up here.
Yes,
Quickly,
but we have to
quickly ask
yes.
the question.
The last one actually is on page 17. On page 17 through your chair, Appendix 28, failure to settle statutory and other obligation, 55 million. When I look at this, I find that yes, when you look at this schedule here, you would see that they've only been paying LASIF, which I guess this money has been deducted from the source. But when you look at NAPSA, there's nothing that is showing there as having been paid. ZRI the same. So I wanted actually, through your chair, the town clerk to show us those payment plans they've made with ZRA and NAPSA. Because when I look at the appendix which is here, I think I don't have that information. And when are they going to start paying? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Witness, you may respond.
Thank you, Chair. I will invite the Director of Finance at a later stage to give more details. But suffice to mention, I think in response to the first question, as to why we paid these retirees, why we are paying why we are paying basic pay while we were paying the other two allowances, the reason is clearly indicated from the circular that we talked about. And if you read very carefully, you will notice that this is coming against the backdrop of a constitutional court ruling. And what the commission did was to actually attach that ruling and give an instruction. And so from that time, the council has been using that circular to pay. But the point of departure, Chair, is at the point where this now comes to our attention. Later on, after many months, getting to 2 years, that there was actually this other circular that is almost at variance with what we received from our parent employer, which is the Local Government Service Commission. And that's the reason why we discontinued. But at that point, a number of them had already been paid. But to answer the question as to how we're going to recover the 5, we as management have had a series of meetings where we know that LASIF has not fully paid these employees. And we're trying to get an engagement with LASIF to see how best, especially for those that have not yet been paid, on how best these monies can be recovered before they are fully paid. Because from the part of the council, these have been fully paid in terms of terminal benefits, but not the retirement benefits from LASIF. Thanks.
You should go back to the Local Government Service Commission for further guidance, because this was not your mistake. I would have loved to have an interaction, more interaction with yourselves, but we are limited with time. We can go to page 6, Town Clerk. Are you there at page 6? Yes, the query there regards the 1.7 equalization fund, and your submission, you submitted that this project was completed. However, during our interaction, it's been noted that you actually used other funds to complete this project. I'll give you an opportunity to submit an addendum to respond to this query, to show where you applied the money which is queried here. And you must add the information as requested by the committee regards the 2 contracts of the market that you executed. I note a reduction of your queries from last year. We encourage you to go and do better. You did better, especially in revenue collection. We want to see an improvement in the execution of projects. The implementation of projects should be done timely. Like I said earlier, it's costing government, it's costing the people more funds. It delays the enjoyment of the facilities when you delay by the people. So go back and improve in areas that have been queried by the Auditor General, so that we can improve service delivery for our people in Kitwe City. The immunity that was granted to you is hereby uplifted. You go back and work for the people of Kitwe. Thank you so much for your appearance.
Thank you so much, Chair. We're grateful.
Thank you for still being with us on Parliament Television. That was Kitwe City Council making its submission to the Committee on Local Government Accounts on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the audit of the accounts of local authorities for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. And shortly, we do expect the committee to receive a submission from Chingola Municipal Council. Keep watching Parliament Television. Good afternoon.
Keep watching Parliament Television, a station that brings Parliament closer to you.
Here is an announcement from the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly. The fourth session of the 13th National Assembly, which adjourned Senate Year on the 6th of December 2024, will resume on Tuesday, 11th February 2025 at 14:30 hours. All members of Parliament are required to be in Lusaka by Monday, 10th February 2025.
Parliament TV, bringing Parliament closer to you.
Some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord. Some trust in their skills, others trust in their kings, but we trust in the name of the Lord. When the arm of flesh will fail them, we'll still be standing tall, cause we trust in the name of the Lord. When they say there's a casting down, we will say there's a lifting up, cause we trust in the name of the Lord. Mere Zambia, so enough, Domingo Narca, to the rainy. Mere Zambia, Chetona, Tonga Virinka, to the rainy. Yeah.
Hena mwana mbelele wako